Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. This is a question and answer video I do every single week. It comes out on Mondays. I'm answering people's questions from the last Q&A video from last Monday, and anybody who has questions, please, I encourage you all, please go down below in the comment section, ask me any question you want. I'll answer it next week in the next Q&A. Welcome everyone who's new here. Please, if you think that I could benefit you or benefit somebody else, would you please consider subscribing to this channel? Supporting what I do here by voting down below. You can comment down below. You can save this in a playlist, share this with somebody else. It really helped me. I'm trying to get the information out there in the general public as much as I can to in hopes that it reaches people who need it. Whether it's they get help from me or get help from somebody else, maybe some of this information will reach people and change their lives and get them out of abuse and get them feeling better and living a better, happier life. So please, I encourage you, support me if you can in any way possible. Thank you very much. Something I like to do is mention something called Shane's Law petition. Shane was a victim of a nasty narcissistic smear campaign. And it went on for a very long time. It was very intrusive in all parts of his life, and he had no idea where to go, where to find help. And unfortunately, Shane took his own life. He committed suicide. And somebody in his name started a petition to start a law against this kind of public attacks. And anybody who's been a victim of this understands how damaging this can be. So anybody that can support this, I'd appreciate it. All of you, if you can. I'll put a link down below in the description box. It'll say Shane's Law Petition. Touch it, go to it, and just check mark, yes, I support it. That's it. This has been growing for, gosh, I think I've been supporting it for 3 years now, and it has grown a lot. It's achieved many of the goals that they set, and so it'd be really nice to see this come to fruition, and I'd appreciate all of your guys' support. Thank you very much. I want to thank you, Diana and Bernadette. Both of you donated to this channel this month, and I really appreciate both of you. Thank you very, very much, and all of you who have ever supported me in that way. I can't think of a kinder gesture than giving someone your money, so thank you very much. I make sure that it goes to good places. I help people for free sometimes and stuff like that, and I think about the donations I've received. So thank you, both of you, Diana and Bernadette, very much. I like to recommend something every week to help you guys heal and grow from different kinds of emotional trauma. One of the most important things you can do to heal from trauma is sleep. Sleep is so vitally important. That's why I bring it up quite a bit. I've recommended all kinds of different sleep aids, things that not necessarily just supplements, but whether it's the weighted blanket or coming up with a sleep something you do to prepare for sleep. I've come up with all kinds of different things this time, and because it's Better Sleep Month, I guess. I just found that out. Better Sleep Month, so what a better time to try to have better sleep. It is so important. It really sets the day, doesn't it? If you have bad sleep, then the next day is awful. You're anxious, you're tired, you're not motivated, you don't care about things, and it is just the worst thing we can do when we're traumatized. Trauma, what you guys are experiencing is actually a chemical reaction, and it requires lots of rest. Normally, they say now, the latest sleep study that I have found is that we all need about 8 hours. If we are suffering from trauma and healing, we need 9. That's when our brain repairs itself, about 9 hours. If we're doing well and we're not experiencing any stress, then maybe 7 hours is good. But really, really try and do what you can to get better sleep. You'll be amazed at the results if you're experiencing trauma. Let's see. This website just throws out 7 tips for better sleep. I think I've said all of these, but I'm just going to read them. Anyways, 1, stick to a sleep schedule. Go to bed and get up at the same time every day. Totally important. And it's very important that we sleep during the night and wake up during the day. Signs of depression is that we stay up at night and sleep during the day, and doing that can cause depression. It slips us right into that. So very important to have a sleep schedule and stick to it. Relax before sleeping. Limit stimulating activities like exercise and work. Do relaxing activities like reading or meditation. And turn the lights off. Our brains really react to sunlight, light. And if we stay up in a lit office like this until it's time to go to bed, it's really hard for our brains to shut down. Just like when you wake up in the morning and it's still dark out, it's not light out yet, you know how hard it is to get up, right? And then when the sun comes up, it's a lot easier. Turn a bunch of lights on in the morning when you get up. That'll help. Create a bedtime ritual. Most important, especially for us if we're experiencing trauma and our brains aren't shutting off and we're stressing out about all kinds of different parts of our life. So important to start a bedtime ritual. It tells our brain it's time for sleep. So we can spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes turning the lights the way that we like it when we sleep, putting away our work, putting away our phones, put away our clocks. Set the alarm, put the clock away, don't look at the clock anymore, the time. Meditate, breathing, stuff like this. All of this stuff relaxes us and it really helps us be able to fall asleep and not wake up so soon too. Really helps us. Create an optimal sleeping area. So important. It helps to take a shower or a bath before sleep. If you have troubles falling asleep, this makes our bodies work a little harder to cool us down and makes us more tired. It's nice to have the air in your room a little cooler with a nice heavy blanket on us and then our head a little cooler. I guess we sleep a lot better that way. Should be dark, should be quiet. I don't think it should be silent or pitch black. I like a little mood light, a little sound. It really helps me, and it really helps me when I wake up. When I used to wake up all the time, I was very hyper vigilant, and I'd wake up sometimes 2 hours, sometimes every hour, sometimes about 4 the longest I'd go. And I'd wake up and I'd be disoriented and stuff like this. But when I would wake up and have my blue light on and my little sound of the airplane flying still, I'd play this video of an airplane flying near inside for like 8 hours, and I'd wake up to it and it's still going on, and I could actually just go right back to sleep. It was really nice. Pay attention to what you eat and drink. Don't go to bed hungry or full. Not good, really. And I know when I try to go to bed and I'm hungry, oh, it's awful. Oh, your stomach's growling, you can't stop thinking about food, and you can't get to sleep. It's pretty hard. Or if I do get to sleep, I wake up just starving. Limit naps during the day. That's important because our brain kind of goes by laying down and sitting up. When we sleep, we're laying down, and when we're up, we're sitting up. So if we lay down during the day, our brain kind of says, oh, it's time to go to bed. And we try to take a little nap, and then we try to get up, and you ever felt like, oh gosh, God, I wish I didn't take that nap. I'm so tired. And you can't wake up. That's probably why. Your brain has shut down for the whole night at 2 p.m. in the middle of the day. And daily physical activity, so vitally important for just, anything. You don't feel well, trauma, anxiety, depression, exercise, but not before you go to bed. So that's that. I also am recommending a supplement. This is something I've recommended. I started recommending 3-4 years ago. It's something called Rest Up. Now, I guess I just found this on Amazon. Optimind Sleep, formerly Rest Up. So I guess this used to be called Rest Up. It's non-habit forming melatonin, magnesium, 5-HTP, L-theanine, which stabilizes your sleep. People have given me amazing feedback on this. I've had hundreds of people tell me that this stuff is great. I have not tried it myself, but I highly recommend stuff like this for better sleep. It's all natural, and like I said, I've just had lots of good feedback. I will put a link down below in the description box. You can find it on Amazon. Okay, let's get started with the questions. Lots of good questions, lots of long questions. I had to kind of trim this up because some of the questions were so long. So I'm answering fewer questions in the video. I made sure I replied to everybody. And that reminds me, if I don't reply to you guys, if I don't read your question or answer it, you don't understand my answer, I misunderstand your question, anything like that. I don't skip people, but it happens. I don't do it on purpose. If it happens to you, I'm very sorry. Please ask me again. Please Ask questions. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as a bad or stupid question. It doesn't matter if it's repetitive. It doesn't matter. Just ask me, okay? Thank you. And tell me your locations. Everybody, let me know where you guys are at. So Loving Life says, mine took away my 2 years and simply told me after all the abuse he gave me, he says out of random, I love my ex. I want to marry her. Leave me alone, and blocked me, leaving me devastated. I am so sorry. It can be traumatic, for sure. Sounds like probably the relationship itself was traumatic, and the way it ended was traumatic. And now here you are traumatized. I'm very sorry. That's the theme for this week's video. Being discarded by the narcissist. How traumatizing that is. How important closure is for us. So vitally important. So I'm going to go off on my little spiel here, but there's several more questions just like this. But I just want to say this. Doing this is not normal. People don't normally do this, okay? And I know most of you out there have experienced this. But we're having abnormal experiences with abnormal people. These people aren't normal, okay? They make up 5%, 10% of the population. Not normal. What they do is not normal, and it's traumatizing, it's mean, it's awful, it's ugly. Closure is so vitally important when we end a relationship. Stress is the biggest killer to us, right? And the hardest stress that we endure is through emotional relationships, because those are the most important thing to us ever. So here we have this committed relationship that was toxic, that was up and down and good and bad. But no matter what, no matter how we feel about the person or how bad the relationship was, it doesn't matter. Failed relationships, losing people in our lives, things like this is very hard for us. And that's normal. Okay? It's not something we like to do. And when it happens, it causes us to introspect. And it causes depression. It hurts. And so people that can't handle that, the abnormal people doing this, that can't handle it, they find different ways. They go right to somebody else, right to somebody else. And we're left, wondering why, and was it me, and what about the new person? We got to stop doing that, guys. It's not about us. It's not about the new person, the new supply, the ex-girlfriend, the old wife. It's not about all of us. It's about the narcissist, isn't it? The borderline, the sociopath, the psychopath. That's what it's about, because they don't care about us. It's their problems, and it's affecting us, and it's damaging us. But try to at least see that it's their problem. It's them. It's them that are not happy. It's these people that do not value any kind of emotional connection with human beings. They don't see us for being human. They don't care. They exploit us like objects, and they use us, and they abuse us, and they throw us away, and they move right on to the next one or the old one again. And we try to figure out what it is about us that makes them do that to us, or maybe this has happened multiple times to you. Try to understand that when people hurt you, it's not your fault, it's theirs. It's their fault. It doesn't matter what you did. We have a fight and two people hurt each other, and then we blame it's your fault. No, it's both of your fault if both of you hurt each other. But we don't do things to deserve to be hurt and abused and discarded. It's not us. We couldn't be good enough for them because they want an object without feelings, that doesn't have needs or wants, with no kind of value, moral system, that just is a robot. And even that just isn't good enough, because it's never gonna be, because that's not what we're meant to do here. We aren't meant to have relationships like this. It doesn't work. That's not why we are here. It's not how we evolved to be who we are today. I just wanted to get that out. Closure is so important. We've got to know why, and the truth is what we need. So I'm telling you, for all of you who have been discarded, who have had no closure, and you know what this feels like, remember, don't do it to somebody else. Okay? Tell people the truth. I'm sorry, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I'm sorry, I'm not in love with you anymore. I'm sorry, but this just isn't going to work for me. I've been unhappy for so long, and we tried to fix it and we can't. Tell the truth, because it's better than just, oh, I don't know. It's me, not you. I promise. Bye. Or, oh, see ya, I'm in love with somebody else. I mean, it just did that is just so damaging. And it's not normal. We don't jump from relationship to relationship. I'm sorry, we don't do that. For all of you out there who've had narcissists, sociopaths, and borderlines who you've been in these enmeshed relationships with, and they just immediately cut you off for somebody else, and you wonder, God, what? No, it's them. That's sick. It's not healthy. We don't do that. And any of you guys that want to go date immediately after being dumped and discarded, and you've got to find somebody else, that's not healthy. That's sick too, I'm telling you. We've got to be alone for a little while so that we can at least be comfortable being single. Or we don't have too much to offer somebody else if we're only comfortable with someone else, anybody else. All right, I'm really sorry again. And, you know, I could get into the psychology of what's going on with your husbands and your boyfriends and your wives and your girlfriends that are doing this. Because it's them. It is them. We don't use people up and dump people and go to somebody else all in one day and now I'm in love with them. God, I've heard that. I've had somebody sit there, I love you. And the very next day, I'm in love with someone else now. It's like, oh, jeez. It's like we had something for several years and you feel the same way about someone in 24 hours that fast? Like, Jesus, what did we have, right? That's the question. The people that do this are highly unstable, and I don't care about the titles. And narcissists, not just narcissists do this at all. Not even just disordered people do this. All kinds of different people can do this. We're not going to get closure from people like this. If they're not going to give it, we're not going to get it. And we can give it to ourselves. People always ask me, what do I do? What do I do? Get help. That's why there's help out there just for this reason alone. There's tons. And I know all of you say, most of you say they don't understand what I've been through or narcissism and stuff like this. They understand relationships. They understand abuse. And they understand being discarded and having no closure. And they understand that you're hurting and you're in pain and you're depressed and you need to talk. At least find someone to do that. At least. So damaging it is. There's so much more to narcissistic relationships, though. The dependency, the rise and fall of our hormones. And now that this relationship ends, we feel awful and we have no happy hormones, are drained. We feel just awful, horrible. You know, in these relationships in particular, talk about, because when we lose somebody and lose a relationship, when somebody like this, when we're in a narcissistic abusive relationship and they discard us, we aren't just losing them. We aren't just losing the relationship we had. Most likely, we're losing a lot of money we've lost in this relationship because they're usually financially exploitative too. We might be losing all of our stuff. A lot of times they'll have our stuff and throw it away, trash it, ruin our stuff. We might lose our children. We might lose our parental rights. We might lose... when we lose our future we had planned, right? You guys have somewhat of a future planned. You got the narcissist over there pipe dreaming everything. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to start a business and we're going to travel and I'm going to buy this. But really, you guys are planning or at least talked about a family. If you don't have one already, you're talking about a family, maybe getting married if you're not married already. where do we want to live and what do we kind of things we want to do with our life, and someday we're going to go here and let's start planning and saving for this, and it's all gone. It's major loss, and it's totally traumatic, especially when they just dump you in one day, go for your best friend. I've had that. That's fun. I'm really sorry for all of you who've experienced this, especially who's going through it now. We need support more than ever. More than ever. God, so many of my clients come to me and they're in these situations, the worst time in their life. And I ask them, we go through, a lot of times we don't even have many people, if any, in our life. But the people who do, I've got some family members, a couple friends and whatever, someone at work. And I'll say, do they know what you're going through? No. You haven't told them anything? No. Well, they kind of know, I'm like, Jesus, tell them. At least just tell them, hey, worst time of my life right here. I'm suffering. I'm struggling. Be nice to just have a phone call, say hi, go out to lunch. Do this. We need to socialize. We need to talk to somebody. And talking to a professional who knows how to help you is way more effective. Because when you start talking to family and friends about this stuff, they start freaking out because they don't know how to help you. They don't know. Talk to a professional. Get it out. Share it with somebody else. Don't hold it in. Socialize. Don't isolate. Socialize. Talk to people. Go out with people. Lunchtime. On the phone. Video chat. Hang out. Exercise with them. Talk to people. Socialize. Touch them. Hug them. Say, I love you. Look in their eyes. Give them gifts. Third is be creative. Create things. Go around the house and home repairs and paint stuff and exercise. If you really want to know some of the things you got to start doing right away. Next question. Victoria from the Bay Area. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for answering my question. You always break it down so I can understand. I have another question. People keep saying I make excuses for bad behavior. David, I know what these people have been through and I have sympathy, but my sympathy pisses people off. I don't want to lose my compassion for people. What do I do? So first, in that you haven't told me much, Victoria, and tell me more, ask me more. But I just have to say, making excuses for bad behavior, man, that is so codependent. And I'm not saying that that's exactly what you're doing. You just said you people are saying that you're excusing their bad behavior. I'm just saying a very common codependent trait is just excusing bad behavior, the total enabler. Well, I'm sure they didn't mean to. I love